Hey guys, I'm gonna discuss like something that most people never talk about when it comes to the dating apps and how they are completely like just trash these days. And I'm not just going to like talk about it in a like I'm not just gonna trash them. I'm also gonna give you like an alternative to get around them. Okay, so first let's talk about like what's mostly going on right now when it comes to dating. So most dudes are just like on these silly apps all day, and they give you a girl's profile to swipe, right? It's like yes or no, whatever, and the girl could be whatever. All right, so this is a yes, this is a no, okay. You're swiping right on like all like you have to swipe right. You can't like avoid being like a consumer on this app. You have to basically waste your time swiping right on every girl, right? And so you're wasting time. How much time are you wasting here? Like you're probably wasting hours a day doing this stuff. So let's put that in here. Let's say wasting like 2 hours a day, maybe like an hour or 2 hours a day swiping, and then you're also losing your focus. Every time you like get on these apps and you're swiping, you're losing your focus. So this is the cost of doing just the swiping stuff, hoping for a match, right? And then on top of that, when you do get a match, then you are wasting time on texting the girl and trying to meet her up, basically. So you're wasting like an hour, maybe more than an hour actually. You're like 3 to 4 hours a week, weekly, to meet up, to text or whatever. And a lot of them will ghost you, right? A lot of them will ghost you and won't even meet up. Um, then you've got like the stupid algorithms basically that are just like ruining things, and they're just not letting you get any exposure to women on the app's platform even. This is probably because a lot of women are leaving, after they realize most guys just like swipe every girl right and they pick and choose whoever they want to date. So that's what's going on. And so you're wasting like 2 hours a day swiping, potentially 3 to 4 hours a week texting, maybe if you're lucky, if you even get a chance. Um, and then there's like an increase in number of men on these apps, and then there's like a decrease in the number of women on these apps. So overall, what we're looking at is that the dating apps are just not the platforms for you to meet women. You can use them, but like supplement them with something else, right? Now, what most guys are, maneuvering into is like cold approach. That's what they have been trying to push. A lot of that stuff is coming back. But let's look at what cold approach does for you. Okay, so we now know the costs of like dating apps costing you. And let's also assume that you value your time, value of your time, okay? If you're making like around, like, let's say you're making like an average, let's say $50,000 a year. Let's just be on the conservative side here and say that you're making $50,000 a year. Okay, so 50,000, let's do the math real quick. 50,000 divided by like how many, like what is that, 40-hour work week, and like 12 months in a year, divided by 12 months in a year, 4 weeks in a month, divided by 24 hours. Okay, so you're making like $43 an hour. That's how much you value your time if you're making like $60,000 a year. You value your time at like $43 an hour. Okay, so you're losing here around $80 every day that you go on like on these apps. and then you're losing another like $160 here every time you're like texting throughout the whole week, and you're just like losing potential that you could be dedicating that time towards like something like making money or whatever. And then you've got like, okay, so let me write this down. Like, value of your time is like $40 an hour or whatever, if that's what you value your time at. And if you do cold approach here, like you go up to girls and you know you're like trying to like get their numbers and shit like that. Like, okay, so you're trying to like do all that. Um, you're wasting like how many hours a week on that? Think about it. Like, if you're doing daytime approaches, that's like hours. That's like a full-time job essentially. At that point, you could just go and do door-to-door sales and try to pick up women like that if you really want to do that. Okay, so now this is like a full-time job essentially. You are Think about it. How many girls are going to flake? How many girls out of the 10 numbers that you get every day are going to actually want to meet up? Like, usually the meetup rate is like 10%. You know, I've done cold approach since like 2010. And my numbers were like, maybe 9% of girls that I actually, and I had to work hard to like text them and everything. So like 9% was like the conversion rate usually. So you're hustling and you're doing all this. This is like taking up valuable time as well. So you're like throwing money down the toilet right there. Eventually, what happens when you're doing all of this stuff is that you end up becoming broke and you lose money like crazy. So chasing women leads to just like, this is your money, this is your situation with the money, okay? This is time or whatever. Like, this is your money, whatever. This is like, I don't know, like, I should say this is like money, and this is like time right here. This is time down here. Alright, so you've got like money and time. Your money's just like draining away as time goes on. This is something most guys don't even understand. Like, they don't understand the value of their time. They don't understand how much the dating apps are actually costing them, for very mediocre results, by the way. And the girls on there are mediocre as well. If like dating apps have like catfishes, they have scammers, they have bots, girls on OnlyFans trying to promote their shit, all types of stuff. It's just like a waste of time. Okay. Now, I have something different. I have what's called the engineered date system. The engineered date system, and basically what this is we run ads. Okay, we run traffic to girls. A lot of them, a lot of girls. Okay, whatever. This is a group of girls. Whatever. We run ads to hot girls, girls who fit your profile, fit your criteria, whatever. And then we run them through a system which is called the engineered dates system. Engineered dates system. And then from there, you get dates lined up. That's all you do. You don't do anything. You literally just sit on your ass and you turn your money into dates without chasing, without doing anything. And you know, yes, you do have to text them and stuff, but that can also be automated to a certain extent. If you use automations, you use all the stuff to try to like automate all of it. Now your time is cheap. Like, now the time that you're spending on girls is like a lot cheaper, and you can devote that time on business or any other task that you have, right? So, and by the way, the money that you're spending here on the ads is not even that much, okay, compared to how much you're spending in time. with the dating apps right now, and with your cold approaching and all that other stuff that you're doing. You're wasting away potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars if you're a business owner, or tens of thousands of dollars if you're like a small business owner, or even if you're just like working a job, like you're throwing away hundreds, thousands of dollars already, just like wasting it away on this nonsense. So, this is the key. This is cheaper to run this traffic system by spending some money than it is to do all of this other stuff that guys are doing right now. That is the backbone behind the engineered dates system. Okay, so if you think this is something that you need, um, go to engineereddatesystem.com. Let me throw out all this stuff, and then we can go to engineered dates system, or engineereddates.com. Make that nice and big for everyone here. Alright, so go to engineereddates.com. If you want this, instead of wasting away your life and your hours and your time and your energy and your focus on stuff that is making you get crappy results for very little amount of, results. You're getting crappy results. You're getting very little results anyways. Why not do something else, right? So this is how engineered dates works. What I do is I show you exactly how to do it. I show you exactly how to set it up for yourself. I've spent thousands of dollars over like 8 years to figure out what works and how it works, and what you have to do to avoid getting banned when you're doing this, how to do it properly, how to actually get hot girls to apply instead of ugly girls, and all this other stuff. There's so much that goes into this. It's not as simple as running an ad. It's not as simple as just running ads on social media, like a lot of these guys talk about. There's a lot more nuance to this, and it's potentially 15 plus years of like my experience packed into like a program, essentially. Not just experience with running ads, but experience with running dating apps, because I was an expert at that. Experience with cold approach, I was an expert at that. You can read my whole story on our blog, actually. But yeah, so it's not just as simple as running ads. It's there's a lot of nuance that goes underneath it. There's a lot of like psychological frameworks that underneath it. And when it comes to like actually like getting on the date and doing stuff properly, I will guide you through that as well, through that program. So that's pretty much it for this, and I will see you guys on a call potentially. Yeah. All right. Peace.